Welcome inside of South Harrison High School. I'm Justin Prince. Got Haley Flutie running the camera for me today as we bring you this third place game of the West Virginia Hometown Invitational Tournament between your Tulsa Rebels and the CBs of Clay Battelle. Clay Battelle comes into the game ranked 5th in Class Single A, and the Rebels currently are 7th in the latest poll. Tulsa, of course, suffered a heartbreaker 1-point loss in overtime last night at the hands of the host South Harrison Hawks. As many of you know who watched that ball game, you had some foul trouble that really hindered the Rebels, and you also had an injury to Jesse Muncie. Got sent to the hospital after taking a tooth to the top of the head that resulted in 6 staples that he's currently playing with as he gets the loose ball here and goes in for the lay-in, and it goes in and out, no good. But Rob Cantrell comes and collects the trash and lays it in to give the Rebels the early 2-0 lead. So Jesse is playing with those staples in his head. And, you know, without Muncie and Meadows and then Johnson also in foul trouble, the Rebels could not hang on to a 15-point lead and lost 69-68 last night. So that's how we ended up here in the third place game between these two top 10 teams in Single A. Clay Battelle working the ball around the three-point line. Big guy in the corner. He can shoot, and he knocks that one down. That's Chisler, the 6'6" forward for the CBs. Meadows tries to get it inside to Salmons at the top of the line against that 3-2 zone that the CBs are running, but it goes through Salmon's hand and out of bounds. CB's bringing it up the floor. Chisler will try another 3 from the corner. That one's no good, but rebound by the CBs, and that's an easy bucket.
Number 12, Chase Antons for 2.
For Chase Antons, 5-2 CB's lead. Johnson in the corner for the Rebels. Back out the Meadows. Again, Clay Battelle running the 3-2 zone. So Tulsa is really going to have to attack the gaps as the Rebels reset the offense. Johnson back over to Meadows, back over to Cantrell. Easy looking 3 in the corner, no good, too strong. And that will be Clay Battelle basketball. The CBs walk the ball up the floor. This is a team that has a lot of height, a lot of length. As they throw that one away, Jesse Muncie going to try to chase it down. Probably should have just let it go. But instead, we're going to get an over-the-back call because Clay Battelle touched the basketball first. So there's Jesse Muncie's first spill of the day after the injury last night. Staples holding well so far. Muncie gets it into Salmons, gets it into Meadows. Meadows attacks the gap, gets it over to Cantrell, back to Johnson, back to Muncie for an open 3. It's off the front of the rim, no good. That's definitely the look the Rebels wanted. Good ball movement, just didn't knock it down as Clay Battelle comes back on the attack. Clay Battelle working it around, gets it inside. Tough reverse lay-in, no good. And Muncie bringing it up the floor for the Rebels. Over to Johnson in the corner. Johnson back out front to an open Muncie again, and this one's too strong. So missed one off the front of the rim, missed that one too strong, and the Rebels still down 5-2 here in the early going. Clay Battelle moving the ball around the floor. Tall pass out of bounds, no good, not able to connect there, and the Rebels will bring it up the floor. Gavin Meadows. Meadows drives, nice pass to Austin Salmons. Salmons can't quite corral it, gets it to Tyler Johnson for the foul line jumper, and that's good. 5-4 Clay Battelle lead. Chisler working against Johnson. Has the size advantage over the shorter Johnson as Clay Battelle works it around. Good ball movement, gets an open three for them in the corner, but that's off the front of the rim. Good box out by Tyler Johnson. Tried to get it to Cantrell. It should have been a bounce pass. Instead, it's batted away, and it's be a turnover for Tolsia. But then Muncie takes it away, and he gets a turnover of his own, and he's going to get out in front for the easy lay-in. 6-5, Tolsia advantage. Clay Battelle having trouble handling that pass as Gavin Meadows tries to get a trap on in the corner, and that's going to be another over and back. And this is so far good defense from the smaller Tolsia team right now, and Clay Battelle wants a timeout. So 3 straight possessions where Clay Battelle turned it over 2 due to an over and back call, and 1 off the Muncie steal that led to the layup, and that brings us to a timeout here in the early going of the first quarter. Again, Clay Battelle comes into this third-place game of the West Virginia Hometown Hit Tournament as the 5th-ranked team in Class Single A. Looking at them, they certainly have a different style of play. They run a 3-2 zone, and offense is set up a little different. Don't quite have the same bounce or spring that the Man Hillbillies have, but as far as size and length, built in a very similar fashion to Man, who Tolsia will obviously have to go through at some point in sectionals if they want to be sectional champions. Muncie inbounds to Johnson. Extended 3-2 zone. They really get spread out wide in that, using their length to close the gaps. Meadows to Johnson. Back to Meadows. Meadows on the attack, over to Cantrell. Cantrell in the corner, back out front to Johnson. Back to Muncie. Muncie going to take the deep 3. That's no good. He's 0 for 3 from 3 right now, and Clay Battelle is off and running on offense with 2:45 here to play. Tolsia leads 6-5 in the first quarter. Clay Battelle gets it to Chisler. Chisler gets it back out front. Seabees working the ball in. And this is one of the differences where they are a lot different than Man. Obviously, hot advantage for 44, Chisler there. He's been played most of this game at the three-point line, and that's a nice drive and lay-in for Gavin Moore for the Seabees, and Clay Battelle's back up 7-6. Tolsia working the ball around the three-point line, trying to get an open look. There's Muncie in the corner. Was open for a second, but good closeout by Clay Battelle. Johnson tried to get it into Sammons in the middle there. Back to Johnson, back to Muncie, and 0 for 4 for Jesse Muncie from three-point range. And he's hit all over the rim and just can't get one to go in. Clay Battelle back on the attack. Low scoring first quarter here, 7-6, as these two teams try to fill each other out. Chisler's foul line jumper is no good, and Sammons will get it out to Muncie, and the Rebels will go on the attack. Inside to Sammons. Sammons back out to Muncie. Muncie will try his 5th 3, and that one's also no good. 0 for 5, Jesse Muncie, and we got a 2-on-1 fast break, and that'll lead to a lay-in for Clay Battelle. 9-6, CB's lead. And so right now, it's just the lack of shooting success for the Tolsia Rebels that have them down by 3. Can't get a jump shot to fall, and struggling to get the ball inside against this long Clay Battelle 3-2 zone. Cantrell in the corner. He'll try another 3. That's also hard. So Tolsia just can't seem to find the range, and then we get an over-the-back call on Austin Sammons. That's the Rebels' 2nd foul. That's the only 2 fouls called in this first quarter. 46 seconds to play. Tolsia trails 9-6. And Clay Battelle throws it away here again, and so both teams' defense has been effective. Clay Battelle's advantage has been able to finish inside a couple of times, and Tolsia has really settled for jump shots. And only has the Tyler Johnson foul line jumper to show for it. The other two coming on fast break layups. Johnson almost has it rips away. Cantrell try his third three, and that's good, and ties the ball game up. So that's the Rebels' first three that connects to the game. 1 for 8 right now from the three-point line between Cantrell and Muncie, but it's a 9-9 ball game here at South Harrison High School. Clay Battelle will answer with a three of their own from the corner. 12-9. Muncie drives wildly, taps it out to Johnson, and Johnson is going to be fouled on his drive attempt.
Fouls on number 42, Tanner Henney, his first.
By Tanner Henney, number 42 for the Seabees. 0.5 seconds left on the clock. It's got to be a catch and shoot. That's not going to be off in time, and that's how your first quarter will end. 12-9. Seabees lead after the first 8 minutes. So we're about to get the second quarter underway here at South Harrison High School. Again, this is the third place game of the West Virginia Hometown Invitational. The championship will be later tonight between the South Harrison Hawks and the Greenbrier West Warriors. As Tolsia inbounds here, South Harrison defeated the Rebels last night in overtime, 69-68. Of course, the Rebels were playing shorthanded, no Jesse Muncie or Gavin Meadows for much of the second half. Meadows for foul trouble and Muncie for the 6 staples that he has in the top of his head. Chisler brings it down for the Seabees. And they'll reset the offense as the Rebels play defense. Stolen away, almost stolen away, but the Seabees get it back. Should have been a steal for the Rebels, but instead Clay Battelle will get another opportunity. Nice pass inside, but Austin Salmons rejects it. Now it's going to be a three-point opportunity and another offensive rebound. So the offensive boards right now really being a difference maker for the Seabees as Jesse Muncie goes flying by on the pump fake, and Chisler hits his second three of the ball game. 15-9 Seabees lead. Salmons inside, back out to Muncie, but we're going to have a foul as Salmons was slapped on the arm trying to get that ball to Muncie in the corner. Tulsa in a position here where they really need to get a bucket to kind of keep pace. The game's at 6. Don't want it to get too far away from you, especially as offense is coming at a premium for both of these basketball teams. Muncie open for another three, thought about it, didn't take it. Salmons inside, then back out to Gavin Meadows. Meadows thought about a shot himself, but then gets it back out and resets the Rebel offense. Now Meadows will take that three, and that's online. Look good, too hard. Salmons can't quite corral the rebound, and the Seabees are off and running on offense once again. It's a crucial defensive possession for Tulsa as Seabees get it inside. Chisler back out front, back inside, and that ball's knocked away, but off of Rob Cantrell, and it'll stay CB basketball. Clay Battelle looks to get it inside from under the basket, gets it to Chisler. Chisler just floats that one in. He's got 8 of the CB 17, 17-9 now 5-0 run for the Seabees here to start the second quarter. Muncie fouled on a drive, and that'll be the third team foul on Clay Battelle with 6:08 to play here in the second.
His second, team's third. Entering the game for Clay Battelle, number 12, Chase Amon.
And that's 2 on Bozick, so he'll have a seat probably for the remainder of this first half as Tolsia gets the ball into Gavin Meadows. Nice catch by Meadows. Go up and high point that basketball. Rob Cantrell is good from 3 once again. He's got 6 of the Tulsa 12, and it's a 5-point ball game once again. 17-12, Clay Battelle leads. 5:50 to play in the opening half. Into the corner, Muncie applying some tight defense, and Clay Battelle will just reset the offense, gets it to their stud, Ocho Chisler. And then Chisler gives it back to a guard to reset things, and that'll be a 3 from the corner, and that's going to be good. Back to an 8-point game, 20-12, Clay Battelle. Tulsa needs a bucket, trying to keep pace. Johnson's 3 is off the mark, no good. So right now, the Rebels are 2 for 10 from 3-point range, and both of those makes coming courtesy of Rob Cantrell. Muncie trying to inbound the basketball. Gets it into Johnson. Johnson to Muncie in the corner. Muncie will take a quick 3, and that's too hard again, but Sammons gets a rebound, gets it over to Meadows, and Meadows back to Johnson. Johnson's foul line jumper is good. 12-14, 6-point ball game, 4:56 to go in the second period. So good ball movement on the second chance opportunity for the Rebels leads to a Johnson floater. Clay Battelle working it around, trying to get an open shot, and they'll just reset at the front of the key. Corner 3 again on the way, no good, but Clay Battelle's going to get the offensive rebound, gets it back out front to Chisler, who goes on the attack, drives, loses his length to get around Meadows and lay that one in. 22-14 for Chisler. He's got 10. 4:08 to play here in the first half. Cantrell thought about a 3. Doesn't take it. Rebels continuing to work it around. Johnson over to Muncie. Muncie's another 3, no good, and he's 0 for 7 now from 3-point range. And he just can't find his shot. He'll keep shooting it, and eventually those will start falling, and he does tap that one away from Chisler, and the Rebels are going to get a run out, but then Jesse dribbles it off the back of a Clay Battelle foot, and then that ball, I think that's going to be a goaltending call, should be. Instead, it's going to be a foul, and Cantrell will go to the line to shoot 2.
Team's fourth. At the line, shooting 2 for Tulsa, number 13, Rob Cantrell.
And Cantrell misses his first free throw. Still an 8-point game. Rebels trying to cut it to 7 with a free throw here by Cantrell. And that one rolls around and doesn't go down. Still an 8-point game, 22-14. CB's lead. Clay Battelle works it around. Out front for an open 3 from the wing, and it's good. He's got 3 threes himself. 25-14, and now it's an 11-point ball game, and that's the biggest hole the Rebels has faced so far here in the West Virginia Hometown Invitational Tournament, actually. Even in the loss last night, they never trailed by more than 4. But find themselves in an 11-point hole right now to the number 5th ranked Clay Battelle Seabees. And it's just a cold shooting day for the Rebels. The Seabees have finally started to heat up a little bit. They've got 5 threes now, 2 for Chisler and 3 for number 4. Tulsa does have a pair from Rob Cantrell, but Muncie is 0 for 7. Tyler Johnson is 0 for 1, and the Rebels are 2 for 10. 2 for 11. Gavin Meadows is also 0 for 1. And so if Tulsa is going to climb back in this game, some of those shots are going to have to start falling. And we got about 3 minutes on the clock here in the opening half. Tulsa does trail 25-14 if you're just joining us. A bucket is desperately needed here for the Rebels. Try to get this thing back inside of 10. Really need to get it about to 5 before the half. Cantrell brings it back out front, gets it to Meadows. Meadows had an open look, didn't take it. Got it into Sammons, and then Sammons tries to throw a wraparound pass to Muncie that's stolen, and now Anthony Lovins will check in. Whenever we get a stoppage in play. The Clay Battelle CB's on the attack. 12 kicks out, 3 on the way and good. And they've hit quite a few of those corner threes, and now it's a 14-point game, and Clay Battelle's threatening to run away with this thing. 28-14. Tulsa has to stop the bleeding. 3 for Meadows is off the mark. 2 for 12 now for the Rebels from three-point range. And this is kind of been the Achilles heel for Tulsa over the last couple of seasons. They've had a pretty good basketball team and very competitive, sectional champions 2 years ago. Nearly upset Williamstown in the regionals that year to get to the state tournament. But even that year, whenever they played a team that was taller and longer than them, they just settle for threes. They don't penetrate. They don't move the basketball the way they typically do against teams that are more akin to their size. And instead, we get shot happy and try to shoot the threes, and that should have been a push-off. No call, and ball doesn't lie. Goes halfway down and back out. The basketball gods were not going to reward Clay Battelle for the obvious push-off that the referees just somehow missed. I mean, of course, there was a little bit of a flop job by Jesse Muncie, but the push-off was clear. And Tulsa got to try to get this thing back inside of 14 here as Rob Cantrell hits from the corner. He's got 8 now, 10 actually. He's got 10 because he had a lay-in earlier in the game. So he's got 10 of the Rebels 16, and he's kind of keeping Tulsa in this thing. 28-16, Tulsa down by a dozen. 1:23 to play here in the second half. And after the loose ball gets batted around, it gets picked up by Clay Battelle's Gavin Moore, who lays it in. 30-16, 14-point lead once again for the CBs. Muncie, corner, finally gets one to go. Now 1 for 8 from three-point range. Maybe that can get him started a little bit. 30-19, 11-point ball game. And again, that's one positive to Jesse Muncie's style of play. He's not going to quit shooting even if he's having a little bit of an off night, and the Rebels can't afford for him to. Collect the missed rebound there, and they get back off and running. Johnson in the corner, back to Muncie. Muncie will shoot it again. Too hard, no good. 1 for 9 from three-point range. 24 seconds to play. Tulsa had a chance to cut it down inside of 10 with a better shot there. And instead, now Clay Battelle will get an opportunity for the last shot of the half. 11 seconds. Ooh, nearly a walk. And instead, it's going to be a foul on number 13, Rob Cantrell. Didn't know if they were going to call that on Rob or to call it on Gav. Instead, they go with Cantrell. So that'll be Cantrell's first. 14 fouls for each team. Neither team in foul trouble. Refs kind of letting this one play a little bit. And nearly stolen away by Anthony Lovins, who I think was surprised the ball even hit his hands because he didn't move. And a 3 from Chisler on the way, and he just lets the follow-through hang as Tyler Johnson's half-court heave will fall harmlessly back to the court. 33-19, Clay Battelle leads. And the Seabees had a pretty good first half. Started off a little cold in that first quarter, but really got it going there in the second. Hit 6 threes. And Tulsa has 3 threes, but not shooting a very good percentage. So we'll go to the half right now, take a short break, and come back for the second half of this third place game from South Harrison High School. I'm Justin Prince and Haley Flutie on the camera. Thanks for watching on the Glenn Hayes Entertainment Network. Six was just in that second quarter, Jimmy Boone. They've got, I think, 8 for the game. They had 6 in that second quarter alone. I don't know. We'll see if I line him out or not. He's turning his feet. I was trying to get him 10 toes to the basket. Well, I can't do much else on a basketball court, but I can shoot. So if they listen to me, they might hit a couple. But it's all mechanics. I mean, he can shoot the basketball. He just gets sloppy sometimes, but his mechanics doesn't do the same thing over and over again. Yeah, Clay Battelle was hot as a pistol in that first half. And I was wrong. They hit 9 threes total, 6 in the second quarter. 9 threes for the whole half. Clay Battelle will start the second half with the basketball up 33-19. Gavin Meadows playing on Chisler. Looks like he's going to face guard him, try to deny him the basketball, go with him everywhere that he goes. Clay Battelle content to try to work around for a good shot. Gets it inside the Chisler, and he lays it in. Lovins back out to Johnson, over to Cantrell. Cantrell shoot a three, and it's good. That's Cantrell's third of the game. 35-22, Clay Battelle leads. And again, could have had another push-off call. Refs decide not to call it, and Gavin Meadows skies above the crowd for the rebound. As Tyler Johnson's floater is off the front of the rim, no good. Clay Battelle rebounds. (35-22), 6:49 here to play in the third quarter. As we're going to get a foul on number 12, Gavin Meadows.
Gavin Meadows, his second.
That's his second, team's first of the half. Meadows fouled out last night's ball game in that 1-point overtime loss to South Harrison, and Jesse Muncie gets a steal. Over to Rob Cantrell, back to Muncie. Good give and go, and the Rebels cut the lead to 11, 35-24. Clay Battelle working it up. And that's going to be a quick second foul of the half on Gavin Meadows. He's got 3.
Entering the game for Tolsia, number 11, Austin Sanders.
So now Cantrell will move over to Chesler as Salmon's coming in the game for Meadows. Finally, a 5-second call is called, and it'll be a turnover for Clay Battelle. Tyler Johnson walks it up. The Rebels has a chance to get it under double digits here with a bucket. It'll be the first time they've been inside of 10 since about 3 minutes ago in the first half. Muncie from the corner, and there it is. Jimmy Boone, I guess I did fix it. So Coach Maynard needs to hire me as the shooting coach. 8-point ball game now, 35-27. And then a foul on the Rebels will send
his first, team third.
Clay Battelle, no, not to the line. Going to call it on the floor, so Clay Battelle will take it out underneath the basket.
Watch corner.
And Rob picks Chesler's pocket, and the Rebels are off on a fast break. Muncie, give and go, hesitation, back out to Johnson, Johnson has it now. It's back out to Cantrell, then kicked out to Johnson. Tolsia trying to get this thing inside of 8. Out front to Lovins, back over to Muncie. Muncie, stop and pop, good. And now it is a 5-point game, 35-30. And Tolsia trying to get a stop here on defense. Momentum has definitely swung toward the Rebels, and that's going to be a charge call as Austin Sammons keeps his feet, holds his ground, and takes the charge. And Tolsia can get this thing inside of 5, and Clay Battelle is going to take a timeout.
Team first. Timeout, Clay Battelle. This will be a full timeout.
So the Rebels come out of the locker room on a huge 11-2 run here to start the third quarter and has this thing back inside of 5. And if you're just joining us, this is the third place game of the West Virginia Hometown Invitational Tournament. Clay Battelle is ranked 5th in single A. Tolsia is ranked 7th in single A. So this is two good teams. Probably, realistically, the two best teams in this tournament. Some bad luck for both in their semifinal games put them here, as Clay Battelle had to quarantine and lose a game due to that to allow Greenbrier West to enter the championship game. And then Tolsia playing without Gavin Meadows last night because of foul trouble, without Tyler Johnson for much of the game because of foul trouble, and then without Jesse Muncie for almost the entirety of the second half after he had to go to the hospital and have staples put into a deep cut in his head. Kind of cost them that game last night. Still had plenty of opportunities to win it, but a win here against a top 5 team in single A could have erased a lot of the bad taste that last night left in their mouths. Inside to Sammons. Sammons works against the big fella, gets him up off his feet, almost gets the and one, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 for the Rebels. Again, Austin Sammons has one of the better pump fakes in all of basketball in West Virginia, and he uses it often. And right there, it was successful in getting the 6'6" Chisler off his feet and drew the foul, and Sammons sinks the first free throw to cut this thing to 4. Three-point ball game as Sammons makes the second. 35-32, 4:50 to play in the third. And this is a different game than it was at the half. Clay Battelle trying to get something going here on offense. Got 2 points only in the quarter. Ball working around. Rob Cantrell, I just want to point it out, is doing a heck of a job on number 44, denying him the basketball. And good defense there by Austin Sammons, but better offense by Gavin Moore. 37-32, back to 5. Three from the corner is no good by Tyler Johnson, and Clay Battelle will rebound. And then almost get a reverse lay-in, but Chisler gets the rebound. His put up is no good. And then good hustle by Anthony Lovins to force a jump ball situation. That'll be Rebels basketball off of the arrow.
Number 10, Drew Rosen.
(37-32), 3:52 to play in the third quarter. Tolsia trying to inch closer in this 5-point ball game. Clay Battelle's 3-2 zone. has some gaps, but not many due to the CB's lengths as Johnson attacks one of those gaps there and leaves it off the front of the rim. Tolsia needs to take advantage of stuff on the offensive end of the floor. Cantrell gets driven by Chesler there and then fouls him as Chesler goes to the basket.
Fouls on number 13, Rob Cantrell, his second, team fourth.
That's the second on Cantrell as
Number 44,
Chisler will go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw up and good. 38-32 now. And again, second free throw is in, and Levi Watts, will check in for the Rebels, taking the spot of Rob Cantrell. So Tolsia really going to have to work through Johnson and Muncie and Salmons right now with the 5 that are on the floor on the offensive end. Muncie, another 3 is on the way. He was online. It looked good. Doesn't go good. He shot out of his shoe, and he still hasn't got it back on yet. 39-32. Clay Battelle lead. Moore gets it inside. Wild layup, no good. Good help defense. Forced the wild shot. Jesse Muncie going to get a lay-in of his own and one, and he'll go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play.
Fouls on number 12, Chase Ammons, the basket by Muncie.
39-34. Muncie with a chance to shoot a foul shot and complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. Five-point ball game. 2:36 to play here. And Muncie makes the free throw. 4-point ball game. 39-35. Tulsa's defense has been much improved this second half. The second quarter, really since, like Jimmy Boone pointed out, since they went man-to-man late in the second quarter. Moore. Reverse lay-in is good, 41-35. Back to the 6-point game for the Seabees. And then Muncie throws that one away. It's going to be an easy lay-in there for Clay Battelle. Posick, uncontested layup, back to 8. Back in that danger zone for Tolsia. Tolsia wants to try to keep it inside of 5 as we go to the fourth quarter if they want to have a chance to come back. And Tyler Johnson cuts it back to 6 with a little 10-foot jumper. 43-37. Lovins guarding Posick in the corner around the Chisler screen. Posick just guts to the basket. Too easy, but blows the bunny. And Tolsia has an opportunity to take advantage of the miscue. Johnson again, another floater is good. 43-39. 1 minute and 15 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Fouls on number 20, Tyler Johnson.
So Tyler Johnson is going to be called for the foul there. That's his second, team third foul of the half. And Rob Cantrell will check back in for Levi Watts. Back to Chisler to deny him the basketball. Chisler gets it in the post, but Lovins reaches in, and I thought he had a tie-up. Referee said he had more arm than basketball, and that'll be a foul call.
Fouls on number 22, Anthony Lovins, his first, team sixth.
So they're going to call this a shot, and Chisler's going to go to the line to shoot 2, and his first one's up and no good. Again, ball doesn't lie, folks. Second free throw on the way, and That was no good either, and Rob Cantrell does a nice job of going up and getting that basketball at its highest point instead of waiting on it to come down, and the Rebels have a chance to get this thing back down to 2 or 1, depending on what kind of shot they get here with 51 seconds to play in the third quarter. This was a 33-19 game at the half. It's 43-39 now. Cantrell inside, back out to Muncie. Muncie's three on the way. Online once again, but too hard. And oh my God, that man just done a split. And we're going to get a bucket to Austin Salmons, and his groin has to be severely hurt. I mean, he went full down like a middle school cheerleader. So as the trainers take a look at the injured Clay Battelle player, it is a 43-41 ball game with 27 seconds to go in the third quarter. So he's able to walk off on his own power, but he does have some ice to that groin, just like I expected. And Clay Battelle will inbounds, and suddenly they find themselves in a dogfight, 43-41 with 22 seconds to play in the third quarter. Rob Cantrell hounding Chisler. Chisler gives it up to Moore. Moore back out front to Posick. Back to Moore. Cutter inside. Good ball movement there. And that right there might be how this... That will be how this quarter ends. 45-41. Good quarter by the Rebels to get back into this ball game. Still got some work to do with 8 minutes to play here from South Harrison High School. If you're just joining us here, I am Justin Prince. We are at South Harrison High School for the third place game of the West Virginia Hometown Invitational Tournament. Rebels lost a heartbreaker last night in the semis, 69-68 to the host South Harrison Hawks, but have an opportunity to really make up some ground and to impress voters throughout the state with a win over the top 5 ranked Clay Battelle Seabees, if they can make that happen. But right now, Clay Battelle has a 4-point advantage, 45-41. Cantrell again on Chisler. Has done a fantastic job on the big man for the Seabees this entire second half, denying him the basketball. Inside to Moore, and Moore is going to be fouled by Lovins, and that's the 7th team foul on the Rebels, second on Anthony Lovins, and Moore will go to the line to shoot 2 with a chance to extend this back to a 6-point ball game. His first free throw is up and good.
Number 35, Gavin Moore.
And Moore makes both. And it's a 6-point game here, 47-41. Tulsa trying to continue to climb back in this game. Again, it was 33-19 at the half. Johnson drives around his man. He's going to draw a foul. That is just the 4th team foul on Clay Battelle, though. Muncie will trigger the inbounds for the Rebels. Gets it into Cantrell in the corner. Cantrell tried to get it to Austin Salmons, and that's stolen away by Moore. And the Seabees have an opportunity to extend a 6-point lead. Cantrell on Schisler again, forces him to give it up. Good defense continues, but he switches on Moore, and now Salmons is on the big fella. The big fella's going to take the slower Salmons to the basket and lays it in. So Salmons just not quite as quick as Rob Cantrell. Couldn't stay in front of Schisler. 8-point game. Tulsa desperately needs a bucket on this possession. Muncie pump fake, drives. A lot of contact, no call, and it's going to be a turnover. Tulsa lay in the foul, and now it's back to a 10-point ball game. So as good of a start as the Rebels had to start the 3rd quarter, they've had as bad of a start here.
The bucket is good. And number 12, Chase Emmons, shooting 1.
And the free throw is up for Clay Battelle, and good. 11-point Clay Battelle advantage, 52-41. So Tulsa back inside of a hole now. 7-0 run for Clay Battelle here in this 4th quarter. Johnson trying to get it over to Meadows, and he's going to be grabbed on the wrist, and it's going to be a foul. That'll be the 5th team foul on the Seabees.
Fouls on number 12, Chase Emmons, his 3rd, team 5th.
Meadows triggers the inbounds to Johnson. Johnson will set up the Tulsa offense. Big possession for the Rebels. Got to have a bucket. And instead, we're going to get a throwaway. But Clay Battelle can't keep a hold of the basketball, so it'll stay here with the Rebels. Muncie gets it into Salmons. Salmons pump fake, no good. A lot of contact again, no foul call. 52-41. Schisler trying to take things himself. Gets it inside and has it stripped away by Gavin Meadows, and then we're going to get a foul on Clay Battelle, 90 feet from the basket. And that's 16 fouls on Clay Battelle. So the next foul on Clay Battelle will put the Rebels in the 1-and-1 bonus. Clay Battelle is already in the 1-and-1 bonus. Johnson drives, gets it over to Rob Cantrell. Cantrell thought about a 3, doesn't take it, gets it back out to Johnson. Over to Meadows. Meadows thought about a 3 too, also doesn't take it. Tulsa now really bogging down on offense. Hasn't even got a good look this half, and Muncie will take a 3, and that won't fall either. 52-41, 5:40 to play. 54-41. And Tulsa will take a timeout. Ball game's back to 13. So Tulsa cut it all the way down to 2 at one point. And the CBs have opened it back up to 13 with under 6 minutes to play in the ball game. So Tulsa has yet to score here in the 4th quarter. And the ineptitude on offense has really allowed Clay Battelle to stretch this lead out and start to pull away once again. With 5:34 to play, we are reaching a crucial situation, a crucial point in the ball game for the Rebels. If they want to somehow still pull off the come-from-behind win, they're going to have to start scoring and then also start getting some stops. Johnson up the floor on the attack, out to Cantrell, or to Meadows to Cantrell, and then back to Muncie, back to Meadows, back to Johnson. Johnson drives in, tough shot, almost gets the roll, doesn't. But good rebound by Rob Cantrell, but he has that shot rejected by the 6'6" Schisler. And we're going to get a technical on Coach Maynard and the Tulsa bench. But that is probably a well-earned and well-deserved technical.
Technical foul on Tulsa. Shooting foul shots, number 44, Chisholm.
And Coach Maynard, I think that might be the first technical he's gotten this season, unless there was an away game that I missed that he got one at. And Schisler misses the first technical free throw, and this one's starting to slip away from the Rebels. Second one's up and also no good. But the CBs will retain possession as Gavin Moore gets it to Schisler. Schisler gets it back out front to Posick to reset the offense. Posick drives in, nice feed and lay in, 56-41. It's a 15-point ball game. Tulsa has to score on this possession. And instead it's going to be a turnover and an easy lay-in, 17-point game. And Clay Battelle is about ready to turn the lights out on Tulsa if Tulsa doesn't start doing something offensively here. And we're going to get a foul call finally as Tyler Johnson drives in, and he'll go to the line to shoot the 1 plus the bonus.
Foul on number 10, Drew Bosick. His third, team 7th. To the line shooting for Tulsa, number 20, Tyler Johnson.
I agree with some of you commenting that the officiating has not been very good, but certainly that's not the reason we're down by 16 now as Tyler Johnson hits that. We've had several opportunities and haven't executed on offense when we had opportunities, and 2 or 3 throwaways when we've gotten it close that have led to runouts. And the officiating hasn't done us any favors, but we also haven't helped ourselves in a lot of those spots either. Clay Battelle running things offensively, poked away from behind by Jesse Muncie, and then all of that contact, and again no foul called, and Muncie finally gathers it up for the Rebels. What a tough shot, nearly gets it to go. And now Clay Battelle back on a fast break, and they're just going to pull it out here and be content to run a little bit of clock. And then a ticky-tack touch foul on Anthony Lovins.
Foul on number 22, Anthony Lovins. That is his third, team 9th. Line shooting for the Seabees, number 35, Gavin Moore.
So Moore will head to the line for Clay Battelle. Free throws up and good. 16-point advantage for the Seabees, 59-43. 3:56 remaining, 60 to 43 here, 17-point advantage. Lovins ready as a deep three and nothing but the bottom of the net for Anthony Lovins, 60-46. And the Rebels had good defense there. It led to a steal, but they're going to call a foul before the steal took place on Anthony Lovins, and Lovins is just going to have to do a better job of moving his feet. He's reaching too much on defense. He's got to move his feet and get in front of his man, cut him off instead of trying to cut him off with his hands, because even if there is no contact or very little contact, when they see you reaching, they're going to call it. Posick makes both, 62-46. Tulsa needs to string together some stops, but they also got to get some points. Just 5 points this entire fourth quarter so far. Perhaps burnt too much energy in the third to get back in it. Posick working against Muncie. Stolen away by Lovins. Run out for Cantrell, 62-48. And Cantrell really caused that steal for Lovins, kind of got a hand on it, allowed it to be stolen away, and then was rewarded on the other end with a lay-in. 62-48. Meadows nearly had a steal of his own, but Moore collects it. Gets it to Chisler on the foul line, back out to Moore, and Clay Battelle's going to eat some clock up here. As the refs take a timeout for some unknown reason. I'm not really sure what that was all about.
In the game for Tulsa, number 30, Levi Watts.
And Levi Watts checks in for Tyler Johnson. And Eli Blackburn checks in for Gavin Meadows. As those two come out of the ball game, not really sure why. Maybe they were having some cramping issues. They were the two that the ref was checking on during that timeout that he called. Lovins gets blown by for an easy layup. 64-48. Muncie with a nice little crossover, maybe too little too late here as Cantrell tries a three that's off the backboard, no good, but Levi Watts gets the rebound, gives it up to Muncie. Muncie gets it over to Lovins, back in the corner to Cantrell. Cantrell on the drive, gets it back over to the corner to Blackburn to Watts. Muncie, deep three, on the way and good. That's his third three of the second half, 64-51, 2 minutes to play. Clay Battelle just going to be content, I think, to let this clock run out, and they'll get out of here with a win, barring any kind of crazy miracle comeback from the Rebels. Under 2 to play now. And those right there are the kind of fouls that drive you crazy as a coach, because, I mean, if you're going to get your guy go by you and you're going to foul, don't let him have the and one. Foul hard enough that that shot doesn't have a chance of going in, and putting them on the line knowing that they at least got fouled. The touch fouls and allowing people to get the and ones will drive you crazy. Clay Battelle completes that three-point play, 67-51 with 1:44 to play in the ball game. Muncie will shoot a deep three again. That one was way off the mark, never got his feet set. And he's just kind of forcing that one up as we're in a late game situation. Gets a steal and then lays it in, 67-53. As Tulsa's going to clear its bench and get some of its JV players in for the final 119 of this one, as Clay Battelle just kind of runs the clock out, dribbling the ball out front. 67-53. Rob Cantrell, though, is not done playing, pokes it away from the bigger Chisler, goes in, drives, and draws the foul. And Rob Cantrell has really played a great second half.
Fouls on number 44, Mojo Chisler, his second, team ninth. To the line, shooting for Tulsa, number 13, Rob Cantrell.
Cantrell will ready and shoot the free throw, up and good for Rob Cantrell.
Entering the game for Tulsa, number 10, Colton Austin. And number 15, Elijah Fox.
67-54, 105 to play in the ball game. Cantrell makes the second. 67-55 now. 12-point ball game, but with only a minute left, the CBs don't have to shoot the ball again. They can hold it for this final minute. .34 seconds left, and Clay Battelle is just going to run a little bit of in and out game with regards and let this one wind down to the end, and they'll get out of here with a top 10 win against the 7th ranked Rebels. Tulsa made a great effort to get back in the game there in the third quarter, but just came up a little bit short. Started slow in the fourth, and it was too much to overcome. And that's the final score here from South Harrison High School. Tolsia is going to drop their second in a row, 67-55 to the Clay Battelle Seabees. That's going to be drop the Rebel record now to 6-4, and they'll come back to Glen Hayes and try to regroup before we head into sectional play over the next week and a half. Once again, I'm Justin Prince, and Haley Flutie ran the camera for me today. Good game here from South Harrison High School. Didn't turn out the way we wanted, but we thank you guys for watching us, and we will see you next time.